Hello students, welcome back to your own channel. So in today's session, I'm going to be starting a new chapter called as the nervous system. So let us begin. Need of nervous system. What is the main need of nervous system? We need nervous system for the following four reasons. It keeps us informed about the outside world through sense organs. And next, it controls and harmonizes all voluntary actions. Suppose you want to read a book, uh, or you want to run, it controls and harmonizes your voluntary actions which are under your control. Next is regulates involuntary actions. The nervous system regulates involuntary actions such as peristalsis, breathing, and beating of your heart without thinking about them. And lastly, it enables us to think, reason out, remember, etc. So let us move on. Next part is neuron. And so neuron is the basic structural and functional unit of nervous system. Now let us study the parts of neuron. The neuron has three major parts: perikaryon or cyton or cell body, dendrites, and axons. So cyton, let's start. Cytons or cell body. Cytons or cell body has a very well-defined nucleus surrounded by glandular cytoplasm, and it contains all cell organelles except except centrosome is absent because these neurons have lost the ability to divide. Next, let's move on to dendrite. So, dendrons, here this dendrons further divide into fine branches called as dendrites. These are also cytoplasmic projections of the cell body. They conduct nerve impulse to the cyton of another neuron. Next, let's move on. Axon. It is a long process found in our body. It can vary from a few millimeters to even 1 meter in length. It contains. Next is it is protected by a sheath called as myelin sheath, which is in turn protected by a covering called neurolemma. And next. This neural lemma produces some gaps between them, also known as node of Ranvier. And node of Ranvier. The gaps between the axon terminals and dendrites of another neuron is called a synaptic cleft. Let us move on to next topic, which is synapse. Let me define synapse for you. Synapse is the point of contact between the terminal branches of axon of a neuron with the dendrites of another neuron separated by a fine gap. Synapse is the point of contact between a neuron between the terminal branches of the axon of a neuron with another dendrite which is separated by a fine gap is called a synapse. So when this impulse transmission occurs, there substance known as acetylcholine is released, which acts as a bridge to transmit impulse from axon endings to the dendrites of the next neuron. So let's write the definition. Synapse is the point of contact between terminal branches between terminal branches terminal branches of the axon the axon one of a neuron. So the axon of a neuron with the with the dendrites of another neuron with the dendrites of a no is called synapse, which is sorry guys for the inconvenience caused. Let us try and define it again. Synapse is the point of contact between terminal branches of the axon and of another neuron, which axon of a neuron with the dendrites of another neuron, which is separated by a fine gap, is called as synapse, which is CPARET by a fine gap is called this. This thing is important between uh, the space between the axon index and the dendrites of another neuron, a substance called acetylcholine is released. This acetylcholine acts as a bridge to transmit impulse from the axon index to the dendrites of another neuron, which is soon destroyed by an enzymes again, which makes the synapse ready for next transmission. Students. So yeah, we have three types of neurons, which are called sensory neurons, motor neurons, and association neurons. Now, association neurons is also known as mixed neurons because which sorry, association neuron is also known as mixed neuron because it does the function of both sensory neurons and motor neurons. So first one, sensory neurons convey impulse from the receptor or sense organs to the brain or spinal cord. It's called as sensory neurons. The response, which is they carry the impulse from the motor neurons, help in carrying impulse from the main nervous system to the effector muscle or gland. Next one is association neuron. It performs the functions of both uh, sensory neurons and motor neurons. So let's write the notes. First neuron we have is sensory. Sorry. Impulse carry impulse from receptor from sense organ to brain or spinal cord. Second one is motor neurons carry impulse from the brain or spinal cord to the effector muscle or gland. Effector is best is a effector muscle or gland. Third one associate on neuron performs ARFORMS both the motor and sensory neurons. Next, let us move on to the next topic, which is called nerves. A nerve and neuron, there is a lot of difference between nerve and neuron. A neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system, while nerves is a bundle of nerve fibers or neurons separate. A bundle of nerve fibers uh, enclosed in a tubular sheath. Let me define that for you. One second. So let me define nerves for you. Nerve is a bundle of nerve fibers, separate neurons enclosed in a tubular sheath. V is a bundle of nerve fibers. V fibers, VRS, mainly axons of separate or sorry guys for the inconvenience caused again. So let us continue with our class. Separate neurons closed in a tubular nerves. A bundle of nerve fibers or axons separate neurons enclosed in a tubular sheath. Let us move on to next topic, which is there are three kinds of nerves as follows. So there are three major kinds of nerves, which are sensory nerves, motor nerves, and mixed nerves. So sensory nerves contain only sensory fibers bringing impulse from receptors to brain or spinal cord. Motor neuron nerves contain only motor fibers which bring impulse from brain or spinal cord to the effector gland or muscle. Next, mixed nerves contain both sensory and motor fibers. Example, spinal nerves. So let us write notes for that. And which one? 3.1. Sensory nerve which carry S point contain only sensory and sensory fibers. Next point is carries impulse from sense organs to next one is going to be motor nerves. First point contain which type of nerves? Sorry, fibers. Contain which type of fibers? Can anyone answer? And one second. Contain. It contains motor fibers. Next one is carries pulse from brain or spinal to effector. Mixed nerves both same perform functions of both sensory and motor neuron nerves. Next, we will go to brain. So no, two major divisions of nervous system. Okay, students. Before we go there, I would like to give you guys a flow chart of this whole chapter. So let's see. Like chart. So here we go. Nervous system is divided in two major parts. One is central central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So central nervous system is again divided into two main parts: a brain, spinal cord. Again, brain is divided into three parts called cere- yeah? Again we'll have now peripheral nervous system again is divided into two parts: somatic somatic nervous system and autonomic autonomic nervous system. Nervous system. Somatic nervous system is divided into two parts. One is cranial nerve, which is 12 pair, and spinal nerve 31 pair. This 31 pairs is very important. They will definitely ask you a question about on the spinal nerve. How many pairs of spinal nerves are there? So now next part, autonomic nervous system has two parts: sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. We'll discuss about this one by one in detail and progressing forward. Well, the two major division of nervous system we just talked: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Let us discuss about central nervous system now. The central nervous system contains brain and spinal cord. Now let us discuss about brain. Brain is about an adult brain weighs about 1.35 kilograms and consumes 2% of the total more than 25% of oxygen of the taken in the body. Let us write notes for brain. First point is human brain is largest brain in comparison with other animals. Human brain is the largest brain. Human brain is the largest. Human brain is the largest brain. Um, Brain is a delicate organ. Brain is a delicate organ which is protected by cranium. It is protected by cranium. Sorry, guys. Next one, it weighs an brain about an adult brain roughly weighs about 1.35 kilograms and consumes roughly 25% of total oxygen taken. So the brain has coverings. The coverings of brain is called meninges. So meninges, which meninges are of three types: duramated, which is the tough and outermost hardest covering fibrous membrane; arachnoid membrane; and pyamated. So let us discuss one by one. So meninges, coverings of the brain. The brain is covered by three membranous meninges. Meninges are really, really important. They will ask in the exam. So, the first one is durameter. Durameter is the hard, tough, TOH fibrous outer covering of the brain. Next comes arachnoid. You can remember arachnoid by arachne means spider. So it is in the form of giving a it gives a web-like question similar to that of spider's web. And density matter middle layer and web cob sorry cob like see, appearance. So next one is the last and innermost membrane, which is called as pyometer. So the innermost, one second, third one, TER, innermost was highly vascular, richly RICH, rich in blood vessels. So this is the box. I might ask you what is major, so be prepared with this answer. Okay. Before I start with this parts of brain topic, let me show you a figure. Here. The brain is divided into three main parts, as we had discussed in this flowchart. Brain is divided into three main parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. So, first one is cerebrum. This and from this green color till this last blue color thing, it is the cerebrum. This brown color here is known as cerebellum, and the medulla oblongata is the last portion of the brain, uh, where, through which this spinal cord runs. The extension of medulla oblongata is called as spinal cord. Let us learn. Let us learn about cerebrum. Cerebrum. Cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres. Okay. Cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres. Is divided into next one. Important thing. Please mark this point as important. Please mark this point as very, very important. Inner portion contains of the cerebrum or cerebrum consist of a white matter doublet mainly contains the nerve fiber axons. Mainly the axons. And outer portion of the cerebrum consists of gray matter, mainly the cytons. On the spinal cord, it is reverse way. Inner portion contains cytons, and the outer portion contains axons in spinal cord. So next point is corpus. Sorry guys. Hello, some SUM connects. It is a tough fibrous connecting tissue or sheet, or it is a sheet of connecting tissues which connects what? So the two cerebral it connects the two cerebral hemispheres. Connects the two cerebral now the cerebrum functions is also important, equally important. Functions is important of cerebrum. So cerebrum is the seat of intelligence, willpower, and consciousness. Major function is it is the seat of intelligence, consciousness, and willpower, and controls all voluntary actions. Oh. Controls all the voluntary actions. Next, let us move on to the next part, which is the cerebellum. This brown color part is called as the cerebellum. Cerebellum is much smaller as compared to the cerebrum, and it is located at the base of cerebellum. Cerebellum is located at the base of cerebrum. Next, its main function is to maintain body balance and coordinate muscular activities. And it also controls voluntary actions. No, involuntary. Sorry, my bad. Cerebellum is located at the base of cerebrum. Functions functions of cerebrum is to maintain body balance, coordinate muscular. There's an important question which will be asked from this part, which is cerebrum. Why does an alcoholic person walk clumsily? You have to give reason for this. So I'll just uh, person. Yeah, let's answer this question. Sorry, alcohol, alcohol is a SENS scent. The answer right. Noticed. Represent pent and will is the G of in uh, large formats. Alright. Now let us learn about primary regions in the brain. So brain has three primary regions: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So forebrain consists of on and the forebrain consists of cerebrum and diencephalon, which the diencephalon again consists of two organs, thalamus and hypothalamus. This you at the correct boom. So next is midbrain. Midbrain consists of two organs called as thalamus, thalamus, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus generally is an organ used to reduce the temperature of the body. It maintains, sorry, hypothalamus maintains the temperature of the body. So let us move on. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum and pons and medulla oblongata. So called, so first point is called as, so now spinal cord extends from the length of from the medulla to almost the whole length of the backbone. Now first point, second point, uh, it the cerebrospinal fluid also passes through the spinal cord, which protects which protects the spinal cord from shocks and jerks. And eventually, the spinal cord is covered by the same meninges as the brain is covered with. So first point is extends downward from medulla oblongata to um, back almost, and runs is almost to the backbone. Next, and it is filled with CSF. This one they will ask you to expand. The bigger cerebrospinal fluid, which protects the renal, sorry, from this and this. Next point is going to be, it is also covered by same three membrane durameter and artery. So let us learn about the functions of spinal cord. So spinal cord conducts reflexes below the neck, and it conducts sensory impulses from skin and muscles to brain and spinal cord. And with this, we are done with the first part, the central nervous system part of nervous system. Let us continue to the peripheral nervous system. And we in this mind, in this mind map, we know peripheral nervous system is divided into somatic nervous system, autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is divided into cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So cranial nerves are 12 in number, and these these include sensory receptors like olfactory receptor, optic nerves, and auditory nerves. Next comes spinal nerves, which are of 31 pairs. Next, we move to autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system consists of two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So, sympathetic. So, let me explain this through a scenario. Imagine you are watching a horror movie and your lips feel dry and your heart rate increases. That is due to the sympathetic nervous system activation in the body. So, example, now sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for danger. Right. It's and down. Autonomic nervous system consists of two parts, which is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic. Let's learn about sympathetic. Sympathetic. Please correct me. Sympathetic nervous system um, prepares the body for danger and action. What all what all actions occurs in sympathetic nervous system? Let us learn. So first effect or symptom of sympathetic nervous system activation is the pupils dilate, become bigger. Next, salivation decreases. The rate of production of saliva decreases when sympathetic nervous system is activated. Next, heart rate increases faster, and then bronchi dilate to allow more air, oxygen to come into the lungs. Gastric and pancreatic activities are inhibited or stopped, ceased. Glycogen is converted into glucose in the liver because it has to prepare the body for action and it needs energy to prepare the body for emergency situations. Next, and there is the emergency hormone which is produced is called adrenaline and non-adrenaline. And next, peristalsis is inhibited, and in some people, the bladder relaxes. Those are the symptoms of sympathetic nervous system. It prepares the body for action. Let us write sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system. It prepares the body for emergency situations. And next, when you're watching a horror movie, your eyes, or when you encounter a cobra, you will feel scared. At that time, the pupil dilates, salivation decreases, heart rate increases upon seeing the cobra. Next, bronchi dilates to allow more oxygen to come into the lungs. Gastric and pancreatic activities inhibited. When you're scared, you will not feel hungry because of this reason. Gastric and pancreatic activities inhibited, and peristalsis is also inhibited. Now, glycogen is converted to glucose in liver and produced to prepare the body for action. Next is a release of emergency hormone is adrenaline and non-adrenaline, and in some people the bladder relaxes. So, now, if the body is continuously in sympathetic, if the body is in sympathetic state, uh, if the sympathetic nervous system is activated for too long, the person might might prove fatal for the person. So there is another system called parasympathetic system. After an emergency or after you encounter an emergency, the parasympathetic system gets activated, which prepares the body for relaxation. Second. Prepares body for relaxation. And next, the symptoms of parasympathetic nervous system are: one is pupils constrict. Second point is heart rate salivation decreases. Salivation decreases, heart rate decreases, bronchi constricts, etc. etc. Now, let us move on to the next topic called reflexes. So, a reflex comes from a Latin word called reflexes, meaning reflected or directed back. So there are it is can be caused by voluntary actions or involuntary actions. Voluntary actions, if you wish to watch some TV program, you voluntarily go and switch on the TV, or if you are feeling hungry, you go and pick up the food and eat. And to be aware of time, you see the watch. Nowadays, you guys don't, but you used to see the watch. Uh, you used to raise the arm and look at the time on your watch. Involuntary actions are like instantaneous withdrawal of hand. As I discussed in my previous video on chemical coordination of plant part 1, I talked about this point. Next, shivering. When it is too cold outside, the muscular contraction, and when it's hot, you sweat a lot due to glandular secretion. Dilation of pupil. Pupils look dark and vice versa because of muscular movement. And let me define what is reflex action for you. reflex action is it is an automatic, quick, and immediate involuntary actions in the body brought about by a stimulus. I'll repeat it again. It is an automatic, quick, and immediate involuntary action brought about by stimulus. Now, generally, reflexes are not sent to the brain, instead are sent to the spinal cord because brain takes a longer time to send the message to by that time you might burn your hand. So that is the reason it is not sent to brain but to spinal cord. Next reflex action over. Let me put that. Oh, 1 second. Just give me a minute. Let me show you that. Sure. So as you can see it, let me explain this reflex action to you. So there is a stimuli which is either a pinprick or hot object. There is receptors in skin which sense the stimulus and sends it through a sensory neuron to the spinal cord, not to the brain. Next, it gets connected with an association neuron, which sends the message back as an impulse to the motor neuron, and this motor neuron is connected to an effector which is a gland or muscle. This point of contact between effector and point of contact is called a neuromuscular junction. Now we know what is reflex action. Let us learn about the types of reflexes. So we have there are two types of reflexes. One is natural reflexes. Another one is conditioned or acquired reflexes. Now let me define what is natural reflex. Natural reflex is a reflex which is one which has no previous experience of or learning is required. Example, blinking, coughing. You don't need to have a previous experience to do these actions. It is inborn in you. So next, conditioned or acquired reflex. Conditioned or acquired reflex is one which has previous experience required. Like like playing a new, giving hand signal, applying brakes, playing a musical instrument, etc., etc. Now there is something. Let's write notes for this. Sorry, guys. First one is inborn reflex. Second one is called as conditioned reflex. Conditioned reflex is one which CH has previous involved, like tying your shoelace while talking, and uh, uh, playing a musical instrument, using keys, giving hand signals, etc., etc., are part of conditioned reflex. There's one important experiment to show conditioned reflex, which is called as Pavlov's experiment on a dog. Russian biologist named Pavlov. He tried an experiment on a dog. He noted at a particular time in training, he noted that under normal conditions, no animal will secrete in response to ringing bell or other sound. So when there is food, it salivates because of natural reflex. But when there is a ringing of bell, it does not, because it does not have a previous experience of um, uh, uh, the sound of the bell. Next, when he presented food along with ringing of bell, uh, uh, the dog started salivating, and after a few days of giving similar setup shown in presentation of food with ringing of bell, even if the food is not given, the dog started salivating of hearing the bell. So now Pavlov's conclusion was a stimulus which previously had no relation with organism salivary response now elicits a response in the gland. So, guys, with this, we end the chapter here. I've completed nervous system in one shot now. If you have any kind of queries, please feel free to drop it in the comments. And if you find my videos helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in uh, 15 days with another video. Until then, bye for now.